good morning, and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster, and I'm touching base with you as I always do every day, except for when it's an encore or if I'm away. But yeah, so good to be back. We had a nice holiday weekend, and so we are back in the space. We're back online. We're back here, and I'm so excited about that to see you guys because I missed you all. But I did have a good rest, spent some family time and friendship time. It was a wonderful 4 days: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so much has happened in the world since we last talked on Wednesday. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But so good to see everyone. Let's send some greetings out. Today, let's say good morning to Lauren. Lauren's in the building. Yay, Lauren. It's so good to see you. We don't usually see you on here in the mornings. Good morning. Omar is in the building. Well, first of all, let me be nice and put those names up there. Lauren is in the building. Now let's put Omar up there. Omar says good morning. And Rashawn is in the building. She says good morning, Ron. And we have the wonderful Miss G is in the building. She says good morning, the wonderful work wife. She's been, it's been, man, we've had some interesting conversations. A lot of you, I've had conversations with many of you, even though I have not been on this platform for 4 days. But it definitely doesn't mean I stopped talking because I love to talk. Lauren says, missed being on here in a while with you and the fam. We miss you. We miss you, Lauren. It's so good to see you. And we got to get ready for our fifth. I think our fifth Saturday should be coming up soon. I think it might have been. It might be this month. No, this month only has four Saturdays. But we need to be putting together our next meetup for the Touch Base Daily community. So we're working on that. Brian Young is in the building. What's going on, Mr. B? Mr. B is in the building. I had the pleasure of hanging out with Mr. B on Ali's show last night. Elise came on and she was talking about again Project 2025, talking about the elections, talking about the all the folks that are trying to say, I don't want to vote for Biden, I don't want to vote for Biden. But she said she is not having it on her platform. So it was really nice to be on her platform, listening to what she had to say, and just be a part of the panel discussion. It was absolutely wonderful. And I love being on other folks' platforms. I love being on my platform, but I do love having conversations with other folks. And speaking of conversations with other folks, let me just say hello to some more people that popped into the room. And I see Lauren says good morning to everyone. And she says she missed y'all. She said, I miss y'all. I miss y'all. And Dread Dia is in the building. What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. David is in the building. How you doing? Mascaro. Kimmy Kim is in the building. What's going on, Kimmy Kim? It's always a pleasure to see. And the great and wonderful Jamel Shabazz says, Grand Rising family. Mr. Jamel Shabazz is in the building. Jamel, I think you have an event coming up, or you are going to be at the Richard Beaver Gallery, I do believe. Send me that information if you can, sir. Or put it in the chat so I can put it up there. Yes, see, my spies are out. You didn't even mention that to me. And I have to tell you, I have folks in the world that let me know what's going on, especially when it comes to art and photography. I will search out for a good art show and a good photography show. That's how I spend my free time. And speaking of Elise, there she is. She says, good morning, everyone. And I want to say thank you for Elise allowing me to be on her platform last night. We had a great conversation. Some good conversation indeed. Rashawn is in the building. What's going on? She says to Jamel and Elise. And I see all the love. I see all the love. I see all the love. Look at all you guys reaching out to each other, talking to each other. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's all about. Ron is not the center of this community. I just facilitate. It's we, the people. We, the people. That's how we roll in this community. It's we, the people. Lisa's in the building. And you know, Lisa is on a cyber, I think, vacation or cyber like blackout kind of situation, but she's still here. She's still here with us. So I feel very honored when I see Lisa in the room, when I know she's in a blackout, cyber blackout right now. She is not out she's just trying to take them. We all need cyber blackouts. That's why it was so good for me this weekend to be able to just relax. It was so cool to know that the show was on automatic. So, pre-recorded shows. I love it. I love that I can do this. I love that there's pre-recorded shows and people get to see the repeats. They get to see what's called the encore shows. And I'm hanging out with family and friends. So it was really beautiful to be able to do that. And shout out to my family. I spent time with my son and his family, and we just had a great time on Saturday. And we ate, we laughed, we talked politics, because that's how we that's how we roll. So we talk about politics, and we had some great conversations on Saturday, which brings me to an interesting point about politics and where we are. It was so interesting that everyone that was at the table, and not only that, but people I've been talking to throughout the whole weekend, my friends, are still all in Biden. Everyone is still all in Biden. And they're still all in Kamala. So they're still in for the Biden-Harris ticket. And so many folks. However, I did run into a couple of people over this weekend. One of my every time I think of my courtyard conversations, I think about Lisa. I cannot speak to anyone in my courtyard without Lisa being in my ear, a sound in my ear, because she says, "Ron, you talk to a lot of people in your courtyard. You should have the Courtyard Chronicles." So, which might happen. You never know. As we get closer to the election, it might happen. I might just say, you know what? I'm going to set up shop in my courtyard. And so I'm sitting there. I was talking to one of my neighbors, and she's not voting for Biden. And she's a Black woman, older woman, not that much older than me, probably. And we were talking, and I was like, in my head, I was like, "You mean you're not gonna? What do you mean you?" Because she was, I think she voted for Trump before, and I said, "You're still on the Trump wagon?" And then she goes on about how the Democrat Party hasn't really done anything for Black people, and yada yada yada. And I was like, "Well, the Trump Party is really not going to do anything." But then I did not. I yielded. I yielded the conversation because I wanted to hear why she made her decision. And again, she shared about her discontentment with the Democrat Party. There needs to be more stuff going. They need to be more for Black people. They need to be doing this. They need to be doing that. Yada yada yada. And I said, well, that's an interesting thought. In my head, she might be listening because she does follow. she might be listening. So in another, and she's a sweetheart. She's my neighbor. But what we relished about the moment, what we cherished about the moment, is that she's still my neighbor. I still love her. Yes, sometimes you go and you say, ooh, you just want to like. It's hard to love. No, I'm just kidding. If she's listening. No, but seriously, it is in America. in a lot of places around the world, but really here in America, we've learned the art. We lost of the art of agree to disagree. It is okay to disagree with others. As a matter of fact, it's in our disagreements that we learn. It is okay. You don't have to win every argument. And you don't have to argue at all. Sometimes you just need to just share your thoughts, and then they will share their thoughts. And so it was really nice. And we was just saying, and we because I love her. She's such a supporter, and she's always checking out. She'll say, "Hey," she'll send me little texts. "Hey, Ron, how you doing? What's going on, neighbor?" Anyway, so guys, when our family members, first of all, we're not going to convince anyone how to vote. I mean, we may be able to educate folks. We may be able to present them with a good argument of the pros and cons. We may be able to do all of that. But at the end of the day, we can never beat people in the head with a stick to convert them over to whatever we believe in. Everyone has a right to their belief systems, and that's what's so beautiful about America. That is what's so beautiful about this country, is that not like many other countries, you do not, I mean, here you have a right to your own beliefs for the most part, and we should cherish that. Okay, what are you guys saying in here? What are you guys saying? Well, also, welcome to Motivation Monday. Jamel's putting his information. Jamel said it's at the Jamel's photos will be at the Richard Beavers Gallery here in Bed-Stuy for a free photo session. Still working on the details. Yes, I did talk to the gallery people in Soho. I met them on Friday. After I went to a restaurant, I went to the Richard Beavers gallery in Soho, which is beautiful, and they had an art display. They had the artwork. I did what it's called Nicholas. I forgot Nicholas' last name, but it's a 13-year-old. And he makes these amazing paintings on dragons. I didn't do a live. I don't think I just recorded my time there. I will post it on my YouTube channel. But the artwork is incredible. Incredible. And he's 13 years old. He has commanded the wall space at the Beaver Gallery in Soho. And he is in some of the articles. He is what they call like a Picasso, a genius. And what's also interesting about Nicholas, and I'll get Nicholas' last name, but he is a bit autistic. And it's his autism that contributes to him in his artwork and the way he interprets his world. And he paints all of these different configurations of dragons. Anyway, I'll post the video that I took and the photos from the gallery that I was in on Friday. I wanted to go live, but I said, no, Ron, no, you're on a little vacation for the weekend, so don't go live. And I'm learning to be obedient to myself. I see here all the greetings. Let me see what else is in the building. So make sure if you're in Brooklyn, I'll have more information on the Richard Beavers event. I know they mentioned it to me. I will get the information as an addresses for you. It'll be on the announcements for this week. I see here texting on hand, etc. Yada yada. I see all you guys interacting with each other. Yes, the whole summer only made room for Ron. Look at that. Look at Lisa. I love Lisa. And she says, yes, she made room for us. And okay, let's see here. Let me see. I'm going through. Anything? Any comments? Elise says, invite me to the courtyard. Elise, you would turn my courtyard upside down. You would turn my courtyard upside down. But however, you would be great to be in my courtyard because sometimes I need a tank, and you are a tank. I mean, my little weaponry is not good enough. My slingshot is not good enough. Sometimes you got to walk into my courtyard with a tank because my neighbors have some strong views. Yes, I will have to think about that next time you're in New York. Just to roll you out into my courtyard. Uh, Elise says, as Tina said, what's love got to do with it? Amen's girl. Hey, well, first let me say hello to the girls club is in the building. Trisha's in the building as well. So good to see you guys. And Paro's in the building. It's so good to see you as well. There we are. Oh yeah, Omar, right? Omar says we have stopped listening to each other. We really need to listen to each other because it's really how we learn. I always, I will not argue with people about their point of view or their mindset. What I will do is I will take that moment and in my head I will record why they believe what they believe. I've always been that way. As when I was younger, people used to call me a diplomat. They felt like I should have worked in the UN. Sometimes I wonder, should I have worked in the UN? The art of diplomacy is so important, and it is an art. The art of diplomacy is truly an art, and you don't have to win every argument, and you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You just share out of the goodness of your heart. Sometimes you can have those heated moments, but you have to, at the end of the day, walk away, shake hands, agree to disagree. The art of diplomacy. Jamel Shabazz says, and we are working on a major photo shoot at the Brooklyn Museum on August 17th for World Photography Day. All are welcome. I will send you the info later on. I want to be a part of it, Jamel. From this point on, I want to make sure you know. In all, we're witnessed by all. I want to be a part of everything you do, sir. I want to be in that. I want to be in that number. I will make it happen in my schedule, wherever, just to hang out with Mr. Jamel Shabazz. And I know that some great projects coming up, and I love being out there with my camera as well. So let's try to do that. So you have my hands up in front of all of these witnesses. I hereby want to be a part of Jamel Shabazz and all the photographers in New York and what they're doing as they bless others. So that's what he does. Let's see here. Okay, while we're doing that, Trish says there is an excellent book called Nonviolent Communication, and have taken the course. Teaches how to communicate better. Yeah. It's all about communication, but it's also about, the old saying, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should be listening twice as much than we speak. You know the old saying? That's the saying, right? We should be listening twice as much as we speak. So, God help us all, right? God help us all. Yeah, World Photography Day is coming up. Can't wait for that. What other things are going to be happening on that day? We also do something. Maybe we should do something also because there's a lot of photographers in this community. We should talk about that. So let's see what else is. You guys are talking today. I'm loving it. Class participation is a 10. You guys are rocking. Okay, let me give you guys some announcements before we move on, and because we'll dive in. A couple of announcements so you'll know where we are doing as a community. And if you're in New York, you can join us. First of all, the Thank You Patreon giveaway. Right now, today is the 8th. Today is the last day. So make sure you go online if you are in the Patreon community and you are a paying member or a paying supporter, because I hate the word paying member, because really you're supporting me and what I do here. So my paying supporters, now there are people in the Patreon community that are there they are there free, and they're just hanging out. They're just hanging out for support. But it means the world, and it makes a difference of what I do in this space as a content creator. Since that seems to be the avenue I'm moving down, it helps when you help financially to make this happen. All this research and all this information does take work to do, and it takes work out of my other part of my life of career projects. But I'm here because I feel like it's important to support a community and to support others and to build up people. Be a people builder. Build up people, encourage people, support people. So that's why I'm here. But the Thank You Patreon giveaway, yes, make sure you lock down, go into the Patreon page. If you have not been to my Patreon page, just go to Patreon, Ron Lewis Photos. There we go. Support by joining by a Patreon community. There it is right there. Crawling. It's on the crawl, y'all, on the bottom there. Okay, just you can support that way. Support this photographer. That's how I'm able to go out and create content. Yeah, so there you go. But again, make sure you download today. The photo is there for you to download so you can upload it. I should say download it, share it, take it to your Walgreens or your anywhere you can print. You can print that photo and then frame it. Lisa has collected several of them and put them on her wall. I'm always flattered and honored when I see when she frames up these photos and put them on her walls. And that, I mean, it's a gift to you because you guys support. So there you have it. Make sure you get that download. Okay. Also, yeah, beyond that, for the Patreon community, another one for the Patreon community is can we photo Patreon basic photography one-on-one class, which we do every Thursday of the month. We'll be talking about, can we photograph sunsets? Yes, we can. That's the title of the lesson for this month. And we will be talking about sunsets and how to photograph them. Since we're in the summertime months, and a lot of people like to go down to the beach and take pictures of the sunset. Well, I'm going to give you some tips. We're going to have a conversation, Q&A, about how we can photograph sunsets. And I think, yes, we can. Okay. Also, at the end of the month, we have what's called our I'm tongue-tied today. RLP Urban Photographers Meetup, walking and capturing images along Doyer Street on Saturday, the 27th at 2 p.m. It's from 2 to 4. We will be in Chinatown, one of my favorite parts of the city. And there's this little narrow street that has so much history called Dyer's Street. And we'll be photographing Chinatown, but our destination is to Dyer's Street. And we're going to have a great time in Chinatown on the 27th of July this month. So if you're in town, go to my meetup page and go to obviously. And for all of this information, you can just scan the barcode if you got your TV set up or you got your phone, or you want to, I should say, your phone is separate from your tablet. You can scan the QR code right here, right here, right over here. You can scan that barcode and it will give you all of this information and the links and everything. So you can do that as well. So that's what this little barcode. You probably say, why does Ron have a QR code there? One is to tell you about me. You can just click on, you can scan this. It will tell you all about me. It will link you to everything that I do. Okay. So yeah, that's what that QR code. But if you want all this information, definitely go to the QR code. And okay, let me see what else you guys are saying before I go into our Motivation Monday thought. Okay. And Gwendolyn, hold your ears. Because we're talking about imposter syndrome today, because many of us suffer from it. I know. And now we have the term. It's a term that we have, and many folks once in a while will suffer from it, or and it's just a label. It's just a label. It's what people call it to these days, but it is a term nonetheless, and people can identify with it. I see here Jamel says, I got you. Jamel says, I got you. Sounds good, bro. Sounds good. And yeah, there we go. Okay. And let's see else what you guys are saying in here. Elise says we have to do better at listening to understand and not to respond. Yes, as we were talking. Amparo says, I used to train managers on communication, especially between generations. Oh, Amparo, that may be a good conversation to have you on, like one of the Wisdom Wednesdays, to talk about communications, because you did that. That was your life, Miss HR Queen. Yeah, that was your old life. I think that would be a good conversation on a Wisdom Wednesday. Let's see here. Please learn to not be. Gotcha. Grand Rising says, hey, Aya's in the building. What's going on? So good to see you. Aya! She's in the building. Hey, Trish says, we are going to have a conversation about AI photography. It's being used more and more. Yeah, that's something it's here and it's here to stay. Andre says, I love sunsets. I see Video Game Gooner is in the building. Morning, brother. How you doing? Good to see you. I see Elise says, I love sunsets. So make sure y'all come to the class. Saturday, it's for our Patreon audience. And if you're not a Patreon member, it's going to be $35. Just check out the details. So anyway, become a member. Become a contributor and supporter. Good morning. I see good morning. I see good mornings. Okay, good. Lisa, I ain't getting into that today. My lovely work wife. Okay. So let's dive in. I think we can dive in. And first of all, I'm just gonna pop this away. So you guys know I guess keep it on. Hey, Tom is in the building. What's up, Tom? Tom Morris is in the building. What's going on, Tommy Tom? And so how many of you have heard of the term imposter syndrome? How many of you have heard the term imposter syndrome? Let's find that information out first. You can give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or you can say yes, or you can say no. How many of you have heard of the words together, imposter syndrome? Elise says yes. Brian says yes. Okay, we got two that have heard of it. Heard of imposter syndrome. Dread says, I've heard of it. Yes. Okay, we got another thumbs up. Pop those thumbs in there if you heard of imposter syndrome. Derek says yes. Trish says nope. Never heard of it. Or is it DT? No. Okay, interesting. Okay, Aya says yes. And Omar says, Ron is making me miss New York. Omar, you need to come to New York, sir. I can't wait till you get here. I can't wait, sir. Amparo says she's heard of imposter syndrome. And Tom says, heard of it, not sure what it means. Okay. I see David says nope. Trish says, "Is it a black thing?" No, this one is not a black thing, Trish. This is not a black thing, Trish. This is a this is really if Gwendolyn if I could quote Gwendolyn, maybe I won't quote Gwendolyn. This is definitely not a black thing. However, there are some black folks that identify with it. There we go. That's the best way to say. And Paro says, I live there, Imposter Syndrome Street. I think for a lot of creatives, especially creatives, and since I'm a photographer, I'm going to speak for myself and I'm going to speak from my experience. Okay. Uh, she says, Trish, it was created by two white women who said it was a phenomenon. There we go. See, Miss G. She said, Ron, don't quote me. I'll put it out there. And Derek says it's a universal thing. Now, I mean, it's coming to our vocabulary in the last, I don't know, Gwendolyn, when was maybe you could put in the date that these two women came up with the thought of imposter syndrome, but it's when you don't feel like you are the best at what you do, and because and not feeling the best of what you do, as a matter of fact, you feel less than in moments, not all the time. For instance, one of my mentors and friends and someone I look up to and talk to, Paul Bronson, he's one big on LinkedIn, does a TV show in England. Also used to be the host for entertainment, Black Enterprise Television here in New York, ABC. He used to work for Oprah, and he said when Oprah would leave the stage, she would say, "How did I do?" You would say, "Oh, Oprah, Oprah got this. She's on every day. She has her own talk show. She has her own thing. So she can, why would she feel like a little bit of imposter syndrome? Why would that be a case?" And she would say, "How did I do?" Because every one of us, for most, I should say not everyone, there are some elites in the building that may not feel this way at times. But I think all of us, no matter how good we are, and how many credentials we have, and how many plaques and awards we have received, we feel less than our peers, or we feel less than what we're doing, and we feel like, oh my gosh, and then I'm not living up to my name. I'm not living up to my community. I'm not living up to where I feel I belong. Yet, the evidence of your life says otherwise. Some folks that have written 20 books, I'm not a good author. I just feel less than. Some people that are great singers like Whitney Houston and a bunch of great artists suffer from, they've shared imposter syndrome. Celebrities, lots of celebrities, lots of actors. I think D Tuggle, Derek can share, I got you up there, Derek. Derek can share, but a lot of actors go through imposter syndrome. I think, and from the readings of it all, is that the more creative you are, the more likely you will have a moment of it. That moment, that day, that moment where you feel like, I'm just not good enough. It happens to the best. It happens to some of the best people in the world. Presidents, prime ministers. I think Churchill. I mean, they didn't have the term back then, but Churchill will talk about how he felt about certain things, right? So it goes across the board. I mean, back before 78, obviously, there was no term for it. No one called it imposter syndrome, but there have been many of us that have been there, right? So let me take you to the let me just take you there here. Because today we're not talking politics or anything like that, so we're just going straight in. So here we go. Here we go. So today let's talk about something many of us face but rarely discuss. It's called imposter syndrome. It's the nagging feeling that we don't belong, that we're not good enough, or that we're just faking it. But guess what? You're not alone. Even the most successful people experience this. You can go down a list. You can put it in Google. How many people have confessed to imposter syndrome? And when you think about it, I mean, when I think about it over my life, I've thought about it and say, oh, someone will say, Ron, you're a wonderful photographer, blah, 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 blah. And I go, okay. I'm okay. I'm just okay. I'm not like, that person. I'm not like that person over there. That person is a better photographer. That person probably speaks better. That person is a better orator, someone that speaks well. Yeah, everyone goes through it. Here's another one. Here are a few tips to help you overcome imposter syndrome. So for all the creatives out there, because it's we creatives that really deal with it. Most of the folks that are like really creating, like really in their heads, poets, writers. Yeah, here's a couple of tips. Tip number one. And now, let me see what you guys are saying before I start that tip. You guys are talking. You guys are talking. I want to make sure I share what you're saying. And Paul says having that corporate fake it till you make it has helped. But every time I take pics, my knees knock. Interesting. Interesting, right? Let's see what else is being said in the room. Okay, there we go. I see in here. Lisa says it's called lack of self-confidence. Why do we have to always make up a fake scenario? Like that. Trish says, is it like you have to fake it, or people think they are not good enough? Elise says, I agree with you, Lisa. It's a lack of confidence and low self-esteem. I like that thought. I think I put a pin in that one, Lisa. Lisa Seeley, one view, an alternative perspective is that someone is growing within a new space and getting acclimated. Some people do not see themselves the way others do. Say, and B says, Mr. B says, say that again for those in the back. Who said Oprah said she was imposter syndrome? I need sources. I highly doubt that. Oh no, my buddy, he worked for Oprah, and he used to literally work with her on the stage. Yeah, yeah. People go through it. He wouldn't lie about that one because he worked for and he's mentioned it on his platforms. Tommy says, "Holy moly! Now I know that the feeling I get has a name. See, people have the feeling, but these white girls sorry to say it that way, they came up with the term. And Power says that's still lack of confidence. It may be lack of confidence, but it's still, they have a name for it. Okay, I see it. And Power says, I tend to believe that you can be confident, but still have imposter syndrome. This is very true. I agree too with that, Amparo. Amparo said, it's very real. Omar says, most people who get into the creative space all have experienced this in one fashion or the other. Even experienced creatives have periods of times where they feel like they're not good enough. G says, sounds like normal behavior being used as an emotional weapon. Okay. Tom says, I've always had the nagging feeling that if I can do something, then I can't be all that bad. It can't be all that hard. Trish says, sounds like low self-confidence and not positive. A lot of this is making sense, and a lot of it is like hitting some good notes here. Elise says, Empower, I believe that the word imposter implies that you are trying to be someone or something that you are not. Janet Fisher says, I've taken up residence in the land of imposter syndrome. The tape is on auto replay. Elise says, I agree with you, G. So we got some people that are strong motivators and feel strong in their heads. I don't ever go through imposter syndrome. I'm confident. I am me. I know who I am. Never do I feel less than. And then we have others, which is that say, hey, there are moments that I don't feel like I am living up to what I think I should be or how people see me. Lisa says, I am a creative. Yes, we oftentimes can doubt our work, but I have never felt I don't belong. Wow, I love this. You guys are really chiming in. Trish says, being creative does not make you feel less or yourself does it. However, if I may add on to this, it doesn't. I agree with you. However, creative people that are really like in the creative space, spend a lot of time in their heads. Tom Morris says, I think what it means is that you feel like an imposter because you feel like if people really knew me, they'll know I'm not so great. And I think people feel like they're not great sometimes. G says, Ms. Elise, the folks who took this study and changed phenomena into a syndrome knew exactly what they were doing. Oh, there's some strong feelings on these thoughts. David says, can this be mistaken for just being humble? Some people have that too. Ooh, that is good. I like that one too. Okay, believe as well. Okay, Tom says hi. Okay, I'm getting everybody's in here. You guys are really chiming in here. She says, and those two white women clinicians studied white professional women. Okay, Trish says, G, what were the women who created it referring to? What was their occupation? So she just shared they were clinic. How is it? White women, clinicians. I need to get my brain around clinicians. Okay. Bryson said, "Hey, Ron, what's up?" Okay, we got that. Anthony says, I got it bad. I'm always second guessing myself. Omar says, I'm in the commercial space of photography and video. So I am constantly being compared to others in the bidding process. I'm confident in myself, but it's a natural feeling to have. I'm with you, Omar. Trish says, confused. Why would someone? And she leaves it there. Empire says, Lisa, I pride myself as being extremely self-confident. It's not the same. Kimmy says, I think it's okay to feel this at times. Yes. Lisa says, I like Oprah never said she had that. That's your friend's opinion. Check it. Anyway, Trish says, they were studying other white women who felt anxiety and nervousness at particular times, specifically when trying something new. And Tom says, there are times when the creativity disappears. It always returns, but it's scary when it takes a break. Oh, Brian says, my imposter syndrome goes away when I start my creative endeavors. Oh, wow. Okay, look at this conversation. Trish says, foy behavior is never healthy. Faux behavior. Tom says, Trish, I agree. Okay, so we're getting in there. I think we got it all down to the bottom. Okay, we're all caught up. Dred says, perhaps a spotlight professional and prefer to play the background. Perhaps a spotlight professional and prefer to play the background. They do what they have to do. Present time, and it appears. People are choosing self and leaving this situation. Okay, we're caught up. So now we may continue. Let me look at my time clock. We're good. We're good on time. We're good on time. Okay, first thing. Here we go. Let me just pop that off here. Here are a few tips to help you overcome imposter syndrome. And this was from a couple of books and a couple of materials. And so just going to forward this to you guys. I thought it was something that I know I've felt it and I've gone through it. It's me. It's my frailness of who I am. And I know that I have gone through it several times, if not multiple times in my life. So there you have it. But we're going to talk about some tips on how to go over and how to deal with it. Okay, here we go. 1, acknowledge your feelings. It's okay to feel this way. Recognizing it is the first step to overcoming it. Let you say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I may feel that way. I feel that way in the moment. I feel that way today. You can't linger there. But you got to acknowledge it. You got to say, yeah, today I feel less than my peers, or I feel less than in my head. Because a lot of times it's in your head. And like they said in the audience, self-confidence. Sometimes it's low self-esteem, but nonetheless, it's still there. It's still part of us. Some of us do have low self-esteem in certain areas. Some of us still lack self-confidence in certain areas of our lives. So those are true feelings. Acknowledge the feelings. They're real. They are real. Now, there are some people in the world, they don't have it at all. They feel good about themselves 100% of the time, 100% every day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Their confidence is strong. But most of us, especially when trying something new, especially when we're in a new space of creativity, or we're trying something new as being creative. But we need to acknowledge the feelings. The feelings are real. They're real. Number 2, what will eliminate it? Here we go. Celebrate your achievements. Take a moment to reflect on your accomplishments. You worked hard to get where you are. And for most of us, when we start really going down the list of things we've accomplished, it kind of like knocks it out the park. For most of us, it may come for a moment, but you know what? If you begin to say, like some of the poets in this building that have written books, and people have bought that book. Several people have bought that book. Maybe hundreds have bought that book. Well, if you weren't as good as you are, people wouldn't have bought that book. Or if you're a photographer and you're saying, oh, you know what? Everyone's better than me. I'm not as good. Again, it could be self-esteem. It could be any of those things that we talked about, that was in this chat. However, though, to knock it out the park, to like say, wait a minute, let me like, like the scratch of the like the LP on the record player. I'm dating myself. When that little needle goes, across it. Stop the presses. Celebrate your achievements. And and that's also part of being thankful, right? The minute we start being thankful, it kind of like knocks a lot of stuff out of our system. The moment we become gracious, a lot of times when we are about gratitude. But then, let's before we go there though, but celebrate the achievements. Celebrate your achievements, and I'm sure they are many. If you're a photographer, they are many. You may say, I only have 2 or 3 pictures that someone bought, or maybe 2 or 3 pictures that people laughed and not laughed, but said, "Oh wow, I love this." We're all at different places at different times. We're all in different positions in our journey. Next one. Seek support. Talk to friends, mentors, or fellow photographers, since I'm talking to a lot of photographers out there. Sharing your feelings can provide new perspective and reassurance. So, when you're feeling a little less than, you might want to get out of your head. It always helps when I get out of my head. And then I go to someone that I look up to, or I go to one of my peers that knows me, or one of my mentors. And I say, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling some kind of way today. And then they say, Ron, get a grip. Yo, dude, get a grip. Look what you've accomplished. Because I think in our heads, especially we who have A-type personalities, we always want to be on top of our game. We always want to be on the top of achievement. We want to be the best at what we do. And if we look around, we always see other people that we can fall in the danger of comparing our journey with someone else's journey. But it takes a friend, it takes a colleague, it takes a mentor, it takes a friend to say, "You doing good. You're doing good. You're okay. No, okay, you're doing great." And that's not saying they gotta give you a pep talk, but they not only share how good you are or how great you are, but they also give you those words with evidence of how you've accomplished what you accomplished. Right? It's important to seek support. It is important to look to your friends, your mentors, the fellow photographers to say, or in some people in this room, writers. For others, it may be, tech gurus. Whatever your thing is, seek support from someone. And if it's even deeper, you can seek, therapy or conversations with a professional. Very important. Okay, so number 4. Oh, let me see what you guys are saying. Before I go there. Okay, I'm looking in here. Okay. Yes, Trish says, you can acknowledge the feeling, but let it go. That's right. Yes. Kemi says, encouragement, we all need it. We all need it. Right? We all need it. Hey, Dr. Tachi's in the building. What's going on, Dr. Tachi? G says, Amparo, and keep this in mind that gatekeeping is universal. Okay, next one. Let's go back. Let me go back. Number 4, embrace growth. Remember, every expert was a beginner. Use your doubts as fuel to keep learning and improving. Can I say it again? Embrace growth. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Use your doubts as fuel to keep you learning and improving. It's like, I remember when I first started doing headshots. And I was like, oh, how can I do headshots? I mean, I'm a new kid in this. I'm like the new person here. And you feel some kind of way. Like, I can't do that really. But then you can, but you still kind of like, again, it's this learning new stuff. And I felt some kind of way. But in order to become better at it, so I didn't have any more doubt that I could do headshots of colleagues and of my clients, I just continued to study more. I studied more. I went on YouTube and looked at all the great photographers that did headshots. I looked at my mentor, Omar, in the room. Omar does headshots all the time. He is a corporate headshot photographer. He does that. That's his bread and butter. And I look at the way the picture looks and how the colors and then I develop my own style. So you can learn, educate yourself, use it as fuel. And as you use it as fuel and you learn, and then you put your own spin to it, your own flavor. It's like you can have a bologna sandwich, or you can probably have a gourmet bologna sandwich and really dress it up. Like there's a restaurant in New York City that does everything bologna, right? Can you believe it? A restaurant, everything bologna, right? So you can do what you want once you've learned how to do it, and you keep growing and learning from it, from the people around you. So embrace growth. Remember, every person was a beginner. And so we all were when we started our journey. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying here. I see here, what did Omar say? Omar says, overall, I believe these are feelings we can conquer. I have come to a point where I just share for myself and not for others. I learned to love my own work. That's my mentor speaking. That's right. Gwendolyn's got something. I say, F them labels. Lisa says, why are people so quick to adopt a phenomenon? That's someone I made up to label you and put you in a box. And it actually gives you this imaginary crutch. Oh, I'm like this because I have imposter syndrome. I like it because it has a name. It's like, give me something to aim at. Whatever you want to call it. It's almost, I won't go into other terms, but yes. Um, Trish says, learn from the experts like Omar. Okay, see that. I see that. Lisa and Power says, I think once you can name it, identify it, then you can figure out how to counter those thoughts. I'm a believer of it. I need something to aim at. I need to I particularly need labels. I like to know what it is. And I'm glad for the name. I am happy for the name. Miss Ellie says, I have a history with labels, especially in education. It's detrimental to all ages. Tom says, Lisa, I agree to disagree. But when we find people who have had a similar experience or feelings, we give it a name so we can talk about it more effectively. That's why we give names. That's why we have labels. Anthony said, Omar is a headshotologist. Yes, he is. Okay. I see here. Never label, says Trish. I'm definitely learning photography as I continue my journey taking photos. And yet it takes confidence to get out there and share your photos, right? And also it says it's a lack of confidence and low esteem. It's just that simple, says Elise. Okay, we all come from a different fabric. Okay, here we go. So again, embrace growth. Next one, next, and not last and not least, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself with the same kindness and encouragement you would offer a friend. right? Go easy on yourself. We are our hardest. We are our harshest. We are our strongest criticizers. We criticize ourselves. We judge ourselves more harshly than we judge others. For most of us humans, right? But the very bottom of this, or really at the top of it, be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. We all could use a little more grace. Grace is such a big word. Grace. Grace can make a horrible day beautiful. Grace, right? Be kind to yourself and give yourself some grace. Treat yourself with the same kindness. Like if your best friend or your friend came to you and said, "Oh, woe is me. This was a bad day. I feel horrible. This is yada, yada, yada. They feel so low. I'm at the bottom of my pit. I don't feel like living. Whatever." You're not going to tell them, "Get over it. You just got a self-esteem problem. Get it over." No, you're not going to tell that friend that. You're going to give them grace. Hey, you can make it. You can be better. Let's try it again. Yeah, you may have made some mistakes here. But you know what? You are good. Let's look at the great stuff. Let's look at what you have accomplished. Give yourself the same grace. Look at what you've accomplished. Give yourself grace. Be kind to yourself. Right? In conclusion, you are talented, creative, and capable. Everybody in this room is talented, creative, and capable. Your unique perspective is what makes your work special. Keep pushing forward and don't let self-doubt hold you back. The world needs you, and it needs your art, and it needs your voice. The world needs you. There's only one you. There's only one you that sees the world the way you see it. And we all can gain from your knowledge on how you see the world. We can gain from the knowledge of how you photograph something. That's what's beautiful about photography. That's why I really love photography. It's because I don't have to be like everybody else. I can learn from others. I can be inspired by others. I could be encouraged by others. But I can pick my lane and do what I love to do. You want to be a headshot photographer, you can go and do it. If you just want to photograph bugs, you can carve your lane and photograph bugs. I just want to photograph tops, bottle tops. I want to travel the world and photograph bottle tops. Right? Create your lane. You are unique. You are an individual, part of a collective, part of the universe. It is your individuality that contributes to us all in the universe. So there we have it. There we have it. What says you? What says you? And then we're going to get out of here. I see Roshan says, exactly. Trish says, find your own groove and take risk. That's right. Dr. Tachi says, yes. 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 Find who you are and be the best you can be. Because no one else can be you. Right? No one else can be you. Omar says, great to see everyone chiming in on this. You can easily see the personality traits in this community. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of community, right? When folks let go of society's expectations and live by their own, they won't feel any kind of way, says G. Okay, y'all. I think we have it. Oh, there's one closing. There's another message here from G. I believe half of the anxiety felt by many stems from trying to live by someone else's definition of success. Aya says, give grace and say grace. Amen. Amen. And Tom says, I love photographing peeling paint and weathered wood. See? Unique. Not everyone wants to do that, but Tom does. We are all unique, and we need to celebrate our uniqueness. Celebrate you. And then that will build your confidence up. It will also build your self-esteem up, because you know now you are the only one doing it. Or maybe there may be some other person doing it, but no one does it exactly like you. Lisa says, I mentioned disagree. I mentioned degree only because you said it's an opinion. When for me, mental health is not such an opinion, but it's all good. I respect your stance. Look at that. Agree to disagree. Okay. I love it. This was a good conversation, y'all. You guys participated today. You guys participated. There was all sorts of thoughts. You guys were all over. That's a strong community. When everyone thinks alike and does everything alike, then you got a cult. When everyone has community, when you have a good, healthy community, that means there's many thoughts, there's many views, right? If you enjoyed this today, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And if you are in our Instagram community, come on over to our YouTube channel. Come on over to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you always know when we're on, or when I'm on, or when this community is on. Thank you so much for joining. Again, give yourself some grace today, y'all. This week, give yourself some grace. Yeah, I see Hannah says, I agree with you. Sometimes people may feel down because there are some people on this planet that play games for no reason at all with their people's emotion, other people's emotions. You have to be strong. Be strong, y'all. Be strong. But give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. So this week, as we are being motivated to go through this week on this Motivation Monday, we are leaving on a great note of give yourself some grace. Be the best you can be. And when imposter syndrome comes along, you don't have to live there. You can kick it out the door immediately. This is just some doubt. This is just whatever. Okay. Thank you guys for joining me today. I'm going to get off of here. It's time to get back to work, some other work. And I got lots of editing to do. And I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Tuesday, and we'll be talking about photography tips tomorrow. So join us tomorrow for some photography tips. And I said, Ron is my dude. Yeah, there you go. There we go. You are mine too, bro. And Anthony says, this was awesome. This was awesome. And Trish says, happy Beach Monday. Happy Beach Monday. Peace. Right? Okay, guys. Have a great week. I will see you tomorrow. And keep shining. Keep shining. And give yourself grace. Love you.